Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first ever edition of the Late Mail Live. I'm very excited to be bringing this to you. I've been DJing literally for the last 5 hours after working a full time as a deputy principal in a school, and I'm bringing this to you. I've been sitting there while I've been DJing, multitasking, putting the press conference updates together. And look, let's be honest, I'm very excited for this. So make sure you smash a like on the stream. If you're on X, go and share it on X for me. That would definitely help out. Leave a comment if you're watching this back as well. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. You don't want to be missing this show. It's going to be the hottest show in FPL worldwide by the end of the season on a Friday night. It's a D-Unit Live. The Late Mail's here. Let's go, baby. So here we are, hot off the press, game week 8, and I've somehow managed to get this all rolling very smoothly. Let's hope. Look, now I'm going to be honest with the chat. I will not be checking the chat unless we get to the dedicated questions and answering section, and it is going to be interactive. I'll put a few of them in here, and I want you guys to tell me if I'm wrong on any of these hot off the press, because literally tonight I was trying to do this while I was doing it. So there's a bit of paraphrasing in here, but we'll get straight into it. Sunderland. Sadki is okay, whoever the hell that is. Alderete, there was positive news, but in reality, we don't know if he's going to be 100%. It was a little bit hit and miss, I thought, and potentially they both might be okay to start. The big news, though, Chelsea. This is the big news. Palmer is out for 6 weeks, and I said, when he first did his groin injury, I said, that looks like osteitis pubis, and I'm telling you, it's a very common issue with AFL footballers over here in Australia, and that is a long-term injury. I think 6 weeks might be a little bit generous. I think it might be another 2 months, if I'm being brutally honest. Colwell and Delap obviously are still out. I shouldn't bother saying Colwell's out. Colwell's literally going to be out for the season. Delap's still out as well. Now, the interesting thing, and Maresca sometimes gets a little bit caught up with the way that he talks, etc., etc. Pedro, Enzo, Caicedo haven't trained yet. So they haven't trained yet, and he doesn't know if they're going to be fit for the game. Look, in regards to Enzo and Caicedo, I don't think there's any issues whatsoever. I just think they'll be fine. João Pedro, though, did not go anywhere. He did not go on international duty. So why didn't he train? Is he actually that injured that he's got a problem with him? Potentially. That is definitely something that might need to be monitored. Then James. James is apparently fit. He's good to go. But look, you never know with Maresca. Maresca says some weird stuff. He said very similar stuff after the last international break, and they all played. So look, if I was a betting man, I'd say Enzo and Caicedo, 100% locks. João Pedro, though, that's a weird one. Like, why is he not training if he's had 2 weeks' worth of rest? He obviously has a bit more of an underlying thing that we're not sure. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Hello to all the people in the chat that have already joined. Thank you very much. You guys are not missing out on any of the updates here. So on to Burnley. In fact, if anyone's watching the cartel videos, you should go and tell them to stop watching because the D-Unit's got you covered. M. Dooney, still a little while away. Roberts needs a little bit longer. And Foster, apparently, like lots of people said, Foster might be an option instead of Dominic Calvert. DCL unit, let's be honest. He's got a dead leg, so he should be perfectly fine as well. On to Leeds. Perry is building. Now, the way I took it from what I read in the press conference updates is that Perry will not be playing and Darlow will most likely play against Leeds. Notto is still out, unfortunately. James plus Okafor could be involved. Now, Daniel James, the only thing I'll say about Daniel James is he made Man United money. One of the few people that actually made Man United money on a transfer, which is unbelievable when you think about it, but yeah, it is what it is. On to Liverpool. Gravenberch is completely fit, so he's good to go. He'll be playing in the defence, whatever. I don't know. Maybe he's playing in defence. Canade apparently is set to train, so he is going to train, whether that means he's going to be fit. I'm hoping Canade's fit because, let's be honest, Canade's crap, and Man United probably score a couple of goals if Canade's playing. Yeah. Now, he talked about Allison being out. He's obviously not fit yet either, and conceding too many goals. He was very adamant that, he almost won. You know what was really funny? Watching Slot's press conference, he basically complained about the fact that other teams have got 90-minute penalties. Mate, you got a penalty in the 97th minute against Burnley, and you're complaining about last-minute penalties. Cry me a river, mate. Say what you want, D-Unit's obviously a Man United fan. It's good to see Liverpool managers whining, but I'm telling you, Slot's in a bit of trouble, I reckon, and I don't reckon he's getting it to work quite as well as he thought that. I don't think it's working quite as he anticipated this season. And he's got so many people that he has to try and get in there. Who knows how it's going to go down, let's be honest. All right, I don't like looking at the chat, but I've got to put this in. Man United only make money by sacking the dinner ladies. That's brilliant. They do. That's probably exactly how they only make money, let's be honest. On to Brighton. Gruder cannot play tomorrow. That's what Herzl said. Can't play tomorrow. No good. See you later. No one's got him anyway. Who cares? Matoma plus Veltman are training. Does that mean they're going to be fit and available? I'm not 100% sure, but they could be available. They're in contention. Whether they'll make it or not, we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait. That's what I wrote. Have to wait. Gomez is a green tick. He's good to go, baby. He is 100%. He's good to go. So that's exciting for him. And those are the first 7. On to the next ones. Crystal Palace. Now, this is what you love to hear. If you're watching updates, etc., this is the kind of information you like. So you know that you can go and purchase the assets that you know are going to be playing. All players are fit and available. Riyad and Dakuri remain out. Their long-term injuries, and realistically, they've got nothing to do with FPL. No one's going to be buying them unless they're new to the game and they've got no clues. Then we've got new deal potential. Glasner could be after a new deal. He did say, though, that if they can't agree on a new deal and they don't align with whatever, then they'll still talk. It was a really bizarre, I love when managers talk a little bit blasé about what they're doing, etc., etc. I just thought that was pretty cool, to be honest with you. And I really like Glasner. And part of me is going, if Amarin sucks at ass, then why would Glasner not be a good option? He already plays 3 at the back, but look, let's be honest, Man United's 3 at the back's crap. But yeah, it is what it is. On to Wolves. Now, he apologised for kicking a ball. So Pereira apologised for kicking a ball. I didn't have room to put that in there, but I thought it was quite funny. He literally spent half the press conference apologising about kicking a ball in his last game and said he shouldn't get angry. Essentially, Strand Larsen still has the Achilles issue, which maybe is why he's not scoring any goals so far this season. He is continuously having to be managed. He talked about that again. There is issues with Hwang. I think I've said that right. Hwang and Bellegarde, potentially they could be all right, but it was a little bit non-committal. I mean, some of these press conferences after the international break are literally just wastes of time. No one actually knows what's going on. The managers speak and gibbly-gook, and it is what it is. On to Bournemouth. Unal returns to training. Now, I don't even know who this idiot is, but I swear Iriel has talked about him for literally the last 7 weeks. There's been it's the 8th game week of the season, right? He's talked about Unal returning to training for the last 8 weeks. Maybe 9. The international break, 9 plus another one, 10 weeks. Brooks is out, unfortunately, with an injury from the international break. So, I don't know if that... maybe that just opens the door for Clivert to come back in the team. And if that's the case, maybe he becomes an option moving forward. I'm not 100% sure, but definitely something that you could be looking at. I mean, makes a bit of sense, doesn't it? Now, Aston Villa. Now, no one cares about this news, but if you're one of those people that's not on wildcard, you've still held Watkins and you think that he's going to come good because they're playing Spurs, and let's be honest, they are playing Spurs. You never know what you're going to get from Spurs, and potentially Watkins might return. Apparently, he did have a little bit of an issue that obviously caused him to come back with a yellow flag, as we've all seen in FPL, but apparently he's going to be good for Sunday. That's what Emery said in his press conference. On Morgan Rogers, he said it was great that he went away with England and he's getting better in terms of his form. So, again, not really relevant. Aston Villa's fixtures, as we're going to have a look at on the fixture difficulty rating very shortly, still no good. Then on to one of my favourite teams to talk about, Fulham. And old mate Tede is still out. Chuck Woozy, I think that's how you say his name, Chuck Woozy. If it's not, that's how his name should be pronounced. Doesn't look serious. Their injuries. And then Silva just basically said, we've been unlucky with injuries. Now, he didn't give any updates on Muniz, on, what do you call it? What's old mate's name? The bloke that plays up front. Raul Jimenez. In case anyone that saw that press conference and has got any more information to shed, please drop it in the chat and I'll read it out. But from my knowledge, the only players he talked about were Tede and Chukwueze, and basically said we've been unlucky with injuries. Now, Spurs, and this one is why I want to get rid of the pigeon. The koala bear is in contention to play. Now, does that mean he's in contention to start, come off the bench? I don't know. Solanke is progressing. He's not going to be ready for this game. And Basuma's obviously, I think, going to miss this game as well. But Koala Bear being back, Tell starting the last game, the Pigeon coming back from Brazil duty is the reason why, if I'm going to play bench boost this week, the Pigeon literally just has to be flogged. Because, let's be honest, I don't understand any other way that that's going to work out well. And then Nottingham Forest, correct me if I missed any of the team news, but it sounded like Ange, he just came out for the entire press conference and defended himself. If that is not a dead man walking, ready to be mowed down by, what's the names of the Forest owner, Mariscus or Marapanis or whatever his name is. I'm telling you, Sean Dyche could be in very shortly, and that means Milenkovic could be back in the D-Unit's team, because let's be honest, if there's ever a reason to get excited, it's probably Sean Dyche in terms of one of them kind of a teams. He's a man in trouble. Ange is not going to last very much longer. I'll be shocked, absolutely shocked, if he's not sacked within the next couple of weeks. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about Ange. He is disgracing Australians in terms of management. He's got absolutely no clues. His tactics don't work. And you're right. You're not a right fit, mate. I'm going to tell you straight off the bat. The D-Unit's telling you I could manage that team better than you are. I would have got Milenkovic a 17-pointer. Instead, you just keep racking up a 1-pointer for him. Then, on to the last lot of hot off the press updates. Manchester United. Now, this is, there we go, Maricanis. I knew someone would happily do that there. Oh, there we go. Muniz, Robinson, and Lukic are definitely out. Thank you very much, Colm. Fantastic. There we go. This is why I need the chat. The chat needs to correct me in case I get occasionally a Wood hat-trick. If Wood scores a hat-trick, mate, I'll hold my hands up and say, the man is back from chopping wood. Man United. Martinez is close, but not close enough to feature in this game. Mazraoui, the comment that I read was he's got no idea about Mazraoui. Mazraoui, don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Is he not in training? Is he having tea with his mum down the park lane? That is very oblivious. And then he talked about Le Mans. So Le Mans comes in to play Sunderland at home and then basically said he could be playing against Liverpool or he might not. What do you mean, Amarin? If you're chopping and changing goalkeepers because you're scared he's going to get goals kicked against him against Liverpool, why did we sign him? Just put him in, leave him in. Flappy Bird does not need to be anywhere near the goals. Now, he then talked about Dalot and Fernandez balance because Fernandez played 62 minutes and Dalot, I think, got rested in the internationals. Let's be honest, if there's a game to rest Dalot for, it's this one. If he plays him at left wing back, Salah is definitely the best captain of the week because he will rinse Dalot to the cleaners. I know Dalot rinsed Trent last season, but Salah is not Trent. Dalot is a rubbish defender and should not be anywhere near the team. And then he talked about basically saying it's easier when we're underdogs. Of course it's easier when you're underdogs. There's no pressure, man. Come on, you're meant to be the Man United manager, not some fraud. On to Arsenal. Odegaard is out for weeks. We don't know exactly how long, but he's going to be out for weeks. So you would think Eze potentially comes a bit of a better asset. But I'm going to talk about Arsenal assets very, very shortly post this, the last lot of updates here. There's a change in the Rice role. He talked about that. Gyökeres, he's pretty confident it's going to happen. I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen, Arteta. But look, if you think it's going to be happening and you just want to send out a sympathy message to the cartel or all own him, by all means, make him feel a little bit better by holding on to him one more week. I'm happy to take that on. On to Manchester City. Aït-Nouri, Marmoush are close to a comeback. Now, people say that that's bad for Foden. I think it's irrelevant. There's no way Marmoush is going to be coming straight into the starting lineup. He'll be sitting his ass on the bench where he belongs. So I'm not worried about that at all. Kovacic can play, apparently, 50 to 60 minutes, so he should be okay. Rodri is not ready. And then he talked about taking a break in 2035. Classic Pep, talking absolute bollocks to the press, and the press lapped it up. Let's be honest. Hello to everyone that is in the chat. Keep your comments coming in, keep your reactions, and basically fill in the gaps that I've missed potentially on my paraphrasing here. On to Newcastle, Hall is expected back before the international break, which is good for Dan Burn and DC contributions. But I'm not talking about DC points because I think I'm more excited about Dan Burn getting a towering header and potentially getting an assist for the D-Unit's team. Wissa is on the grass. Also, I want to ask the chat, why on earth do managers call it on grass? Like, just say he's coming back. He's building up fitness. Why say he's on the grass? He's not in the gym. He's on the grass. I don't know. Ramsey apparently could be in the squad as well. He talked very positively about him and he should be good to go. I don't think he's going to start, but potentially he could be starting. Well, he could hopefully make the squad. In terms of Everton, Braithwaite plus Roll are again on the grass. That's the quotes from David Moyes here. Grealish is obviously going to miss because he obviously can't play his parent club in Manchester City, so unfortunately for him, he does not make it. Kevin Dewsbury-Hall is back, and Pickford potentially might be signing a new contract, and Patterson, I think I've got that right, Pat out. I just called it Pat out. I couldn't fit any more words in there, so Patterson is out there. Big Dan Burn, there we go. Saying Huang. Love it. Luke, he's a good man behind the scenes. He's created a lot of the images for this particular show. And then lastly, on to a little bit of sad news here for Brentford. Malambo is out with an ACL injury, so unfortunately he's going to miss most of this. Well, he's going to be out. He's going to miss all the season, let's be honest. Hickey got a knock on international duty, but again, he is back on the grass today. Exciting times. I mean, what else do you want in life than hearing that your players are back on the grass? So, which Arsenal defenders? Now, I've got some interesting news for all these people that are in the chat and are watching this at the moment. I am not buying an Arsenal defender as things stand this week. And I've got 3 free transfers. And the reason why, and you can go and check this from last season, Arsenal played Fulham twice last year and did not keep a clean sheet in either game, home or away. They won the game at the Emirates 2-1, and they drew with Fulham 1-1, I believe, at Craven Cottage. It is called Craven Cottage, I'm pretty sure. But we are going to cover this because people are sitting there, and I'm telling you, Gabriel is not the correct move. Now, I can't believe that he's up to 30.1% ownership compared to Saliba 12.6%, Timber 18.4 and Calafiori 14.7. Now, people say that Gabriel's the minutes monster, etc., etc. Where is Ben White? Where is Ben White? If Ben White is not available, who do you think's playing at right back? Like, who do you think is actually going to play at right back? Now, if you think it's someone else other than Timber, you probably need to go and look at Arsenal's squad. They don't have another right back in that squad. Now, he did talk about Hincapié apparently being fit and available, so maybe Gabriel will get a rest because he's been with Brazil. I'm just putting these ideas out here, and I'm just basically telling you why I think that Timber is still the best defender to buy from Arsenal, and that is the one that I'll be looking at. Now, all you have to do is look at the XGI, and it's a no-brainer. Timber, 0.4 XGI, 2 goals, 2 assists through 5 starts. He started 5 bloody times. Gabriel's obviously started 7. I don't know why there's no 7. Oh, there's 7s up the top. I don't know what's happened there, but he's 7 starts. He's scored 1 goal, and he's running at an XGI of 0.08. There is no way in any world where that is better than what Jurrien Timber's putting up. Now, if you're saying that you're buying Gabriel because he's got better goal threat, you're wrong. It's definitely not the case. The stats through 7 game weeks prove that that is not correct. Calafiori is an even a better option if you want to go for attacking threat. Like, it's Timber, then Calafiori, then Gabriel, and then Saliba's just behind. No one's going Saliba, let's be honest. No one is going Saliba. I feel sorry for him because he's probably actually the best defender out of these 4. But in reality, we are chasing attacking returns. Now, I would say if you're looking at buying an Arsenal defender this week and you're not on wildcard, rethink your transfer. The reason why? Because Fulham actually have a habit of scoring a goal. They scored against Bournemouth with no striker. Now, people say they've got no striker. They scored against Bournemouth, who have pretty much got very identical defensive stats to Arsenal through the first 7 game weeks. Fulham just have a way of scoring goals. And we'll get to my hot takes a little bit later, but I'm telling you, it's quite possible it will happen again. I just think it's a no-brainer. If you want to go for one of those things, you've got to go for Jurrien Timber. I mean, save 0.4 mil. He's probably going to go up to 6 tonight. Who knows after I've just given him a massive shout out. But Calafiori is also another one that I'm very interested in. I would not be shopping in Gabriel and the Saliba markets. I think I don't know. I just don't like them. For whatever reason, I just think that they're not good value for money. I don't think any of them are good value for money, to be honest with you. So onto the double Arsenal attack. And on my wildcard draft that I put out this week, I did say that potentially double Arsenal attack might be the way to go. Now, why do I say that? When I looked at these stats and I was trying to make an argument for why I wanted to go double Arsenal attack, I thought it's a pretty crap argument. When you look at the points per game, these are not good points per games. Gyökeres, 7 starts, 3 goals. Now, he obviously got a penalty in those 3 goals. He's going at an average of 3.7 points per game, which is unbelievably bad value for 9.1 million. Let's be honest. Let's not sugarcoat it. The fact that he's owned, this is thanks to the cartel. This is thanks to the cartel. This is why this man is so highly owned. He's owned by 26.2% because all the idiots on Wildcard 6 bought this fool into their teams. Now, if you combine Eze with Rice with Saka's ownership, you get close to about 30%. He's literally got as much ownership as the other 3 players at the moment. That's obviously going to change. He's being sold en masse. He's probably going to drop in price between now and the deadline. He might even drop tonight. But there is no way that man is good. I actually think Man United dodged a complete and utter bullet by not picking him up. Like, we literally dodged a bullet by not picking him up and going for Šeško. I think Šeško's a way better player. He hasn't been farming. Gyökeres looks like a bloke that played for Coventry City, and that's probably his level. Let's be honest. I think he'll still go all right because Arsenal's other players are amazing and they can probably make it work. And you'll probably get the odd goal. I don't think he's going to be brilliant. I don't think he's going to be prolific. And I don't think he's worth 60-odd million pounds. Sorry, Arsenal fans. On to Saka. Now, without that goal from the penalty spot, he's got 1 goal for the season. Now, his underlying numbers are really good. 0.32 expected assists, 0.32 expected goals, 0.38 expected assists per 90. But he is also coming off a hamstring injury and a severe hamstring injury the year before, and he costs 9.9 million. Again, is it value for money? I would argue that it's probably not. Then we get down to Eze. Now, Eze, I think, could explode. Now, I personally think that if you wanted to take a gamble on any of these 3, it's probably Eze for me. I just think that he's capable. But then he talked about Martinelli today, scoring 3 goals in a row or whatever, and then that gave me concerns that maybe Eze won't start because he wants to play Martinelli on the left and wants to play Eze in the harder games. I don't know, but this is the problem. There's so much rotation options in Arsenal's attack that I don't really know whether any of them are worth looking. That's why I didn't buy any on my wildcard 6 because I just didn't think it made. I didn't think it made any chance at all. Yeah. The one I really like the most, I'm not going to lie, is Rice. 6.5 million, 8.9% ownership. He's got 6 starts, and from those 6 starts, he's got 4 attacking returns. He's got more attacking returns than the rest. He's also racked up DC contributions, and I don't like talking about them, but he's racked them up twice as well. So he has multiple routes to points. He takes all the corners on the left, and let's be honest, Rice's corners are better than Saka's because Rice's just seem to go in more regularly for whatever reason. And look, he's clearly beating the lot of them at the moment, 5.7 points per average per game. Yes, he's only playing 77 minutes, but that's because he started 1 game on the bench. And this is the problem. I think we will see mad rotation with the Champions League and Arsenal assets, particularly in the midfield and attack, and probably also in their defence. So, look, I'm warning you, it's probably going to happen, let's be honest. Now, onto the DCL unit. You'll see at the moment there is a poll that's going on live in the chat, and we're about to get to our very first bit where I interact with the chat, and I'm going to read all your comments, and you can ask me all your questions you want based on what we've got at the moment. The DCL unit, yes. Now, I'm not saying yes, I'm just saying, is it a yes? Now, first off, who wore it better? The D unit on the left or the Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the DCL unit on the right? I just want everyone's opinion. Now, the reason why I've considered him is not because of the fact I use any other thing other than the fact I looked at the fixtures, I looked at what the Pigeons got this week, and it was always a 2-week play, and now I've got to the 3rd week and he needs to go. Now, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, because I want to do some other moves, and I am concerned about Reinders, and potentially if I bring in Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I can move Reinders to Enzo, and that looks pretty good for my team. But in reality, it is a 2-week play. Now, people say, why are you doing it? He's not going to score. If there's 2 games he's going to score in, it's Burnley away and West Ham at home. I don't care. I'm not playing him in 10, 11, 12, 13, and I want to play the bench boost in the next, this week, ideally. That would be the plan. So when you look at that, 1.4% ownership, and let's be honest, Gary has double Burnley defence. He's playing Dubravka, he's playing Estev. How good would it be if the D-Unit brings in the Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he scores a brace, and the D-Unit goes on the lock-in and absolutely crows the crap about it? I think that'd be pretty funny. I think that would honestly be pretty damn funny. And it'd be almost like poetic. You know how like I've just been waiting for that one moment this season where all of a sudden I'm back. This could be it. He looks a lot better with that face, I reckon. I'm just taking the piss now. I need to shut up. But yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, make sure you get your votes in on the chat. Let's be honest, because won't even lie, the Pubcast crew reckon I should have just bloody captained him as well. And there is a world where I looked at it and I was like, oh, there's no way I could captain him. Like everyone's captaining Erling Haaland. I do not feel confident about DCL unit beating Haaland. And the only reason why I'm excited about it is because one of the people in the WhatsApp community chat, by the way, if you haven't already joined, there's a link in the stream description. Hit it up. It's also the very first comment I put in. We'll accept you in. It's free. You don't have to pay any money. We're not one of those peddling businesses like the cartel, but that charge for your money. I'm not that person. But essentially, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he could be great for 2 weeks. And let's be honest, if it means bringing misery to Gary, I think I can almost justify the transfer in. It almost makes sense to do it. Let's be honest. The dude, I mean, his fashion sense, if he could score goals better than his fashion sense, we'd be right. Because I think his fashion sense crap. But it is what it is. All right, it's the first time for the chat to go absolutely ballistic. No, it's not. Fixture difficulty rating game weeks. Bait in the chat. Game weeks 8 to 13. Now, you want to know? I'll tell you guys a secret. The hardest graphic for me to put together every single week is this bloody fixture difficulty rating. Not only do I have to work out which teams I think should be where, but I also have to it's a really fiddly process. I wish AI could actually take over and make this graphic a hell of a lot easier for me to do, but it's not. It's hard. It's hard work, and I waste. This is definitely the one thing that takes forever for me to do each week. But I've got Arsenal just about top of the fixture difficulty rating at the moment. But in reality, post this game week, and maybe I'm being a bit unkind to Chelsea, I think I dogged them a couple of places because of the fact that Maresca I can't trust. And I seen Trig that's in the chat there. He'll tell you Maresca's a clown. He's almost as up there with Amarin with no clues about what he's doing. Newcastle's fixture difficulty also looks pretty good. Now, Wolves, that's why I've got Krejci in my team. 8 and 9, which is why I want a bench boost this week as well. There's just so many ifs and buts, and we'll get to my team a little bit later, but it's hard work. Man City, Foden's got this week. If he does not perform this week, he's 100% turfed in game week 9. If he performs this week, he's probably staying, FYI. And I will be captaining him regardless of what people think. I've got a suspicion. You back a horse in long enough, it eventually returns for you. Hopefully this is the week that he returns. West Ham obviously coming into a very nice run of fixtures, which is why I love Jared Bowen. I think he is the second best forward in the game for the next 5 weeks. Brighton also have a nice fixtures, but I don't know what to think. And why I want to hold the Man United assets. We can see there, Liverpool away in 8, game week 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They're not fantastic, but let's be honest, they've got Forest in there at the moment under Ange Postecoglou, so that should be a win. Everton at home should be a win. Brighton may be a win, and I reckon we beat Liverpool. You've heard it here first. We'll get to my score predictions a little bit later. Burnley obviously have 3 nice fixtures there for anyone that's wanting to bench boost their assets as well for the next couple of weeks. They look great. Bournemouth have a tricky couple of weeks, and then it gets really good. Game week 12 again for Bournemouth looks unbelievably incredible. So, your turn. Question and answers. Get your questions and answers in based on the first part of the show. I'll be answering them as they come in, so just smash them in. I'll be looking at some of the things really quickly as well. This is the best graphic ever. Thank you very much. Written in the stars to me, mate. Get DCL. Both those photos are disturbing. They are disturbing, Peter. Taking the piss, that's what I intend to do, Rahi. He would need a DCL to score 15 to reach top mil. I reckon DCL could bang. Not having dark green forest. I know. They should be dark green forest. I literally base the colours on what the FPL website produce. Whoever's up there is very quick to press the change price button on the pigeon. But how hard is it for you to update the fixture difficulty rating? How is Forest a grey fixture still for any team? How? FPL Towers, you're a disgrace. You should look at yourselves in the mirror, sort it out. It can't really be that difficult. Big Ange to win 3-0. You know, I actually think Ange could do something against Chelsea, which is why I'm also Part of me just wants to roll, and we'll talk about my team very shortly as well. My wildcard, Team Rovs, Pope, Munoz, Senesi, Byrne, Timber, Chalaba, Semenyo, Enzo, Saar, Rice, Anthony, João Pedro, Bowen, Haaland. I don't know if I'd make any changes at all, mate, to be honest with you. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I've got nothing really to add to that. Looks pretty good. Gordon's Gin looking to sponsor a content creator. Any ideas? Yeah, hit him up. I reckon Nightmare could be a shout for that. I want a midfielder in Boomo place this week, and it worth it to go Gyökeres to Bowen. I think it is, but I own Bowen and I don't own Gyökeres, so that's probably me being a little bit biased there. Gyökeres and Bruno out for Bowen and Rice. Don't mind it at all. Which two would you start at Petrovic, Dubravka, and Van de Ven Estev? Oh, I would go. I'd have the difficulty there, Fundles. I'd probably go Estev and Petrovic would be my guess there. See if there's any other questions here I can quickly answer. Do you like points though, mate? Yes, I love points, buddy. FPL Hill. Yeah. Last year I found points much easier to come by than this year. Isaac is decent. Slot says he's full fitness. Yeah, when he sucks this week, we'll definitely be judging him, let's be honest. All Man United fans will be anyway. Rice also good for bonus points. Yes, he is very good. Napstars, I've just seen that. Marino could also play with Rice, potentially. I mean, that'd be hilarious if Gyökeres got benched after being sucky for Sweden, let's be honest. Best Liverpool players to buy? None. No, I think if you're buying a Liverpool player this week, it'd be Salah. Salah's record against Man United, even being a Man United fan, I know the record all too well. He kills us. I don't know why. He just kills us. Start one, Senesi, Xavi, or the Pigeon. I would start Senesi. Burnley, high chance of clean sheet with Leeds at home or Wolves away. No idea. No idea. You'd think at home, but Wolves are not scoring many goals, so let's be honest. I still have Poro and Van de Ven. Should I hold or get rid? Well, it depends on how many transfers you got, mate. If you've got a couple of transfers, I'd probably move at least one of them out. Bowen or Jorgen, Strand Larsen, Bowen all day long. Should I go for Kevin Dewsbury Hall or Zaka? That's a hard one. Kevin Dewsbury Hall's obviously already been suspended, so he's sweet to go now. That's a real hit and miss one. I'm not sure. I think I'd probably lean him because he's playing in a better team. I'm going with Bowen captaincy. I have a really good feeling. Yes, Fundles. You should triple captain DCL unit. All right. Back into the show. Keep your questions coming in. There's another section there. We've also got your card calls. So anyone that wants a card call, there is a section completely devoted to you lot for that one. Captain Foden or Salah? I'm voting Foden. I'm voting Foden on that one. All right, on to the next bit. DC Daddies plus time 2 chips. Now, I want to see people's comments on this in the chat. Now, prove me wrong. Attacking defenders are better than DEFCON Daddies. Now, I know Nightmare will tell me that it's wrong, but I'm telling you, and potentially, we've seen the last couple of weeks, no clean sheets, pretty much. We've seen 8 clean sheets across 3 entire game weeks across 60 teams. So all you need to know now at the moment is that there is not many clean sheets happening. So do DC Daddies really matter? Or do you really want those attacking defenders? We've seen goals, obviously, for a lot of defenders the last couple of weeks and assists. We saw Dan Burn with assist, Timber with an assist. Potentially what we should be looking at, instead of the DC contributions and the attacking, we probably want to look at defenders that have clean sheet potential and potentially can get attacking returns. I think it's a lot more fun to play the game that way. That's my personal opinion. In terms of the times 2 chips, I think we know. I don't know why they did it. Now, the reason why I'm going to talk for you through why I don't understand the reason why they did the times 2 chips. Now, I listen to other content creators, but they all sit there and say that the bench boost is a rubbish chip. Like you guys were the same people that complained about the assistant manager last year because they had no clue how to play the damn chip, and they really should have probably tuned into me because I aced that chip, 56 points with it. But I don't understand why people don't want to. I just don't get it. I don't get why you want times 2 chips. Playing a bench boost and then campaigning for times 2 chips and then basically saying the bench boost is rubbish, I want to get out of the way, or triple captain is, not that good of a chip. Why campaign for it? If you think it's rubbish, why are you campaigning for it? I just think it's very hypocritical from the cartel, and you only have to look at all the big content creators when they sit there and go, oh, I'm going to play my bench boost as a rubbish chip, I want to get out of the way. That's literally all their default responses. The D-Unit's like going, I want to get about 50 points on my bench boost. Let's be honest, it's not going to happen. But I just don't understand. Why would you take out one of the best things that's happened at FPL in years with the assistant manager, where anyone that watched the games last season will know, and it's in the WhatsApp chat. Again, if you haven't joined the WhatsApp chat, it's free. There's a link in the description. Rahi's going to drop it in there. I see he's in the chat. He's going to drop a link in. Make sure you smash that. Last season, the best moment of FPL was when Tarkowski scored that goal in the 94th minute. I literally had, well, this is not my shaker, but I had my gym shaker in the morning. I was drinking my pre-workout or whatever you want to call it, and my drink went flying. When Tarkowski's goal went in, and all of a sudden, all those idiots that played it safe and thought, oh, Slot will get 2 wins because he's Slot and they're playing for Liverpool. Well, that didn't happen. What happened was David Moyes riding the high. He got the 4-0 win in the first game, and then when he got that draw and got the table bonus, my God, there was nothing more epic in FPL last season, and they completely killed it. The cartel put pressure on the FPL towers, and the FPL towers crumbled to the masses. I know for a fact that survey, 50% of people above enjoyed the chip. I know that for a fact. So the fact that they just caved in to the stats and all these people that sit there and watch FPL Review and FPL Solio, and all you have to do, let's be honest, watch one of them. You've watched them all, because they literally pronounce the same thing and they encourage you to do the exact same thing. That's what I thought. If you've enjoyed that, this is definitely the light-hearted part of the show, where we have a bit of fun about the stuff going on in FPL, and it's your chance to get in the chat. Let me know if I'm bonkers, if I'm off the plot, but essentially, I'm trying to define what FPL should be. It's meant to be informative. I've had the information, and there's more information to come, I can guarantee you that much. But it's also meant to be fun. The game, at the end of the day, is a game designed, if you're not having fun in a game, you shouldn't play it. And this is me trying to make FPL fun and having a bit of a laugh with all of you guys that are amazing people. So, look, DC Daddy's and the ×2 chips, I'm not impressed. I think just get rid of them and bring back the assistant manager. Let's be honest. Betting on a team is what football's all about, and barracking for a team, supporting them. I mean, all those people that picked David Moyes in that thing, unbelievable. I still can't believe it. Just take me back to that FPL Towers. Bring it back next season and get rid of this other rubbish. So, memes of the week. Now, I want to shout out. This is literally, as I said, this is a show for you guys as much as it's a show for me and informative. So, a shout out to our amazing person that's hopefully in the chat, to Luke Stroud at Chill22. This screen is for you, baby. So he does a lot of work trying to create the stuff that I then post on X, etc. I work a full-time job. I do these videos. I don't have a hell of a lot of spare time. I barely have any time to do anything else. So I actually think my personal favorite one this week was the one that's down the bottom with the FPL D-Unit in the army outfit, the D-Unit family sleeping below, and then the rubbish that gets spit out by the cartel raining in on the D-Unit. I think that was definitely my favorite one. Obviously, if you look at Vin Diesel closely, you'll see that looks a little bit like me. If I shave my head, it probably looks, it's very subtle, that one. And essentially, there is nothing stronger than the D-Unit family. We are non-moderated. The WhatsApp chat is non-moderated most of the time, until I have to sit there and say, look, unfortunately, Verts is crap, but Bruno's shitter. And then we've got D-Unit at the FPL Content Creator Meetup. Let's be honest, they're going to be chasing my ass down in the next couple of months when they realise that I'm here and I'm a threat. And then we've got the Tom. The Tom is going to be on the live watch along on Sunday. Make sure you tune in for that. He's a Man United fan like I am. It's probably going to be the most hilarious commentary you'll watch this Sunday in the Man United Liverpool game. Obviously, with his best mate there, Andre Anana. Now, Mark Kitchen can't stay today, but you're doing watch along tomorrow. Yes, I am, baby. I'm doing the watch along tomorrow. We are there. It's going to be unbelievably good. I'm doing the 3 p.m. games. I'll be live for all 5 of them. So make sure you tune in for that. I'll be there for that, maybe. And thank you very much again for your super chat. Very much appreciated. But yes, shout out to Luke, absolute legend of my community. And look, let's be honest. I mean, I don't even need to do any marketing. I just use what he produces for me and I just upload it. It's great. It's great. And I just want to give a shout out. You guys are amazing. And that's why I do this in the first place. Which leads me to think you can beat the D-Unit League. And again, we've got the trophy for the week. Manager of Game Week 7 is Dan United. He got 100 points. He didn't even play a chip. He got 100 points. Congratulations, Dan. I don't know if you're watching, but hopefully someone clips this up to you and sends it to you. 100 points without a chip is some fair play, mate. No wild card, no bench boost, no triple captain, no free hit. Just class FPL management, let's be honest. That is brilliant. Now, my place in my own league is disgusting. I'm actually ranked 999. That's disgraceful, that is. Now, the person that is winning the league at the moment is Slot Drop. And remember, if you are winning the league, and this is a reason to join, and Jack, I don't know if Jack's in the chat, but his shirt is on the way to him. He won the Club World Cup. You can win yourself a D-Unit shirt. And I'll send it out to you free of charge. I've literally sent Jack one in the post. He should be getting one, and hopefully next week I'll be able to put his photo up here to show you exactly what it looks like. But yeah, you get to put your own number on it. It's the prize for winning. So make sure you join the league. The code's up the top there somewhere. But yeah, he's leading the way, 517 points, and his name is Harrison that's managing the Slot Drop. Well done, buddy. Now, we do like to take the piss on this channel as well. So the lowest score, Jammy Dodgems, 41 points. Poor Henry. I've been there, mate. It sucks. Unfortunate. Napstars, you absolute legend of the chat, sending 5 memberships to Shushant, Rishby, Sewage Fruit, FPL Konza, and John Paul Carey. Thank you very much again, Napstars, absolute legend. And she is Lynn in the chat. Now, the WhatsApp chat thought it was Tom pretending to be a female. It's not. It's Napstars. So make sure you thank her in the chat later on as well if you're in there. Now, the bench disaster, attack. That's the team name. 30 points left on the bench. Now, that's why I want to play the bench boost this week, because I've just got a sneaky suspicion that could be me if I don't do it. So that's why I want to do it. Now, the best trader this week was Smith's Army. He got plus 26 points net, and his name's Jay. So well done to you. Worst moves, unfortunately, the Foreign Legion, or Loffagian, minus 26 points to David. He took 20 points in hits, and alas, it did not pay off one iota. Now, One Move King, this was brilliant. He made one transfer for a net gain of plus 18 points. So I'm guessing it must have been Semenyo. So well done to Invictus FC. And then Hit Hero, Redizzy got plus 16 net points with a hit. So congratulations to all of them. Unbelievably good stuff. And yeah, just a shout out. There's going to be a weekly spot in the FPL Late Mail to celebrate you guys that are part of the league and part of my community. So again, I'm all about sharing the love, and that's, yeah, you guys. I wouldn't be anything without you guys, let's be honest. So on to the score predictions for Game Week 8, and this is where it gets a little bit exciting. I get a little bit excited about doing score predictions. So I'm going with 2-0 to Chelsea. Let me know what you think in the comments as well about what you think for the score predictions. I'm going 2-0 Chelsea against Nottingham Forest. Chalobah to score a goal would be very nice, but yeah, I'm not sure. But I just think Forest are in free fall, and I think Ange is going to be gone. I think Ange is going to be gone after this game. Now, Brighton versus Newcastle is 0-0. That's what I'm predicting. I know Brighton haven't kept the clean sheet. I just think that Newcastle away from home this season have been very, very, very defensive. They've kept a lot of clean sheets. I just don't see them scoring a goal. I don't know why, because Brighton concede lots of goals, but I've gone for 0-0 in that game. Burnley versus Leeds, I've gone with 1-0. Now, that's going to be very disappointing to all those people that are on bench boost this week, potentially, and are hoping for clean sheets from Burnley and Leeds. I think they both score, and it's a score draw. I reckon it's 1-1. Now, on to Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. I also think this will be a draw, and I again think it will be 1-1. Then we go on to Manchester City versus Everton. And this is where I'm going to get a little bit indulgent in what I'm doing. So, I think Phil Foden scores a double, Haaland blanks, and Man City win 2-0. And Phil Foden gets me a 16-pointer as captain. And all of a sudden makes back all those points I've missed out on the last couple of weeks. That's my prediction for that game. On to Sunderland versus Wolves. I can't see either of these teams scoring. Like, Strand Larson is not the same player as he was last year. Sunderland, again, I mean, I watched them against Man United at Old Trafford, and they really didn't offer much outside of that, the dodgy penalty that was taken away. I just don't think that it's yeah, yeah. I don't think it's any good. I think that game's going to be the most boring game of the watch along. Let's be honest. I think it's going to be 0-0. If there's a goal in that game, I just hope it's Krejci and Mukiele. That's all I wish for. Now, people are going to say I'm an absolute barmy, but this is what score prediction's about. And you always get a weird result every single week. And there's a couple of weird results I predicted here. I've gone with Fulham to beat Arsenal 1-0. Now, we'll get onto my hot takes very, very shortly. But my hot takes are hilarious, I think, this week. And if this one comes in, I'm going to buy him. And maybe people already know what my hot take is going to be on this game, but I'm going to buy him if this happens. On to Spurs versus Aston Villa. These are the Sunday games now. So Spurs versus Aston Villa is on Sunday. I think Spurs are going to shade that 2-1. I think Villa will score, but I think Spurs will win just. Then the big one, Liverpool versus Man United. Both teams, I think, are conceding multiple goals in this game. I actually think this will be the game of the weekend by a country mile. I don't think Liverpool are going to batter Man United. They're not in the form to batter them. I think Man United will show up and give them a pretty damn good game. And I reckon Man United win it 3-2. I don't know why. This could be the start of Amarin's charge up the table. Who knows? Who knows? I'm loving the chat's predictions. This is brilliant. Keep them coming in. Forest for the win. I could definitely see it, let's be honest. And then on to the last one. West Ham versus Brentford. This is on Monday Night Football. So a late game this week in the thing. I'm going with West Ham to win that game 2-0. And Jared Bowen to get the D in a double would be nice. And I reckon Juve probably gets an assist here as well to keep his owners happy as well. So what does my team look like as things stand moving into the deadline stream tomorrow? So we've got Pope and Byrne doubling up in the Newcastle defence. I'm actually playing Mukiele at home on field instead of Senesi and Krejci. I've got Chalobah as well starting, and people might disagree with some of these moves, and potentially you could be right. I've gone with Semenyo, Foden, Reinders, Bruno Fernandes, and Mbeumo in the midfield. Now, I'm aware that Mbeumo potentially might drop tonight, which we'll talk about my moves and potentially what I'm going to do in a second. Then we've got Haaland and Bowen up front. And then on the bench, we've got Petrovic, Senesi, Krejci, and Richarlison. Now, the reason why I think a bench boost this week makes a lot of sense is because that's a pretty good bench. Like, Senesi could easily get 4 points or so on the bench. Petrovic could easily get another 3. Krejci could easily keep a clean sheet, which would take it up to about 13 points. And you never know, Richarlison could score. And then that would take it close to 20. Realistically, I don't want to be bench boosting with the Pigeon because I'm not convinced he's going to start coming back from Brazil duty, which means that if I want to play the bench boost, I probably need to make a transfer and get him out, which is why the DCL unit is a good play. Yeah. I think potentially that's why I want DCL, right, to bench boost. That's it. I could literally make one transfer, Pigeon out, DCL in, press the bench boost button, and hope for the best. I think that's realistically the best play to do. Or I could then do DCL in for Richarlison and Mbeumo out for Enzo. And I could then do Krejci up to Timber. That's definitely a possibility, but I don't think Arsenal keep a clean sheet, so I don't really want to go there. So yeah, let me know in the comments. I'm going to check back the comments after I finish the stream and have a look at what you guys think. But I've also, yes, Thiago's a really good option, Hawkeye. I did look at Thiago as well. He's been good value. I mean, 6 million. I just think there's something about DCL unit that's returning this week. And I don't know what it is. I've just got a feeling. Ever since Luke put my face on that man, I feel like he's going to become me and he'll actually score. Because the chances he gets, I'd score. So, I don't know. I got a sneaky suspicion he's going to be all right. What do you think about Marshall from West Ham, given that Nuno just said in the oh, yeah, Fulkrug's injured and he's 4.4. I mean, he could be an option, Rahi, 100%. He did talk about the forward options as well, and basically Somerville and Wilson and all this other stuff. At the end of the day, I think Bowen's the one you want from West Ham. I wouldn't be mucking around with anyone else, and yeah. But yeah, that's the team as it is. I just hope I've got it right. Again, I'm really intrigued to know what people think. Keep getting your votes in on like what I should do. I'm saying no to DCL, but bench boost. So people are saying no to DCL and bench boost. If you could just whack in what I should do in the actual chat, because I'm going to read it back afterwards. Yeah, let me know what you think I should do, because I'm intrigued to know, because I'm open to options. I've got no money in the bank, so whatever I do, I have to generate the money from selling people. So when you suggest something, just be aware there's nothing, no funds at all to play around with in the bank, which could be problematic potentially. So on to my hot takes for game week 8, and this is why I enjoy this. Bruno Fernandes and Mo Salah to prove the doubters wrong, as both score penalties in a classic. Both score penalties in a classic. Now, I think it's quite possible. I think there could be multiple penalties in this game. Mike Walliver is one of the worst refs in the Premier League, and he loves making decisions so he stands out in the game. There is no reason to think that he won't do the same thing again. Let's be honest. No reason to think he won't do the same thing again. Now, rolling the transfer for a week might actually be the best play again. Who am I? Like, I could roll to 4 transfers. I've never, ever had 4 transfers. I've never even had 3 free transfers since they allowed you to build them up. Like this season, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm losing the plot here. But yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's something to keep an eye on. But potentially for my own team, I could easily roll again this week and just back the pigeon in to do something against Villa, let's be honest. Everyone's flocking to Arsenal assets, and the most popular one is going to blank. I'm telling you, Gabriel's going to blank. I'm telling you, Fulham are going to score in this game, and Gabriel is going to get you 2 points. It's going to be hilarious. All these people bringing him in on wildcard. It always happens as well. These kind of things always happen. And I don't know. Trig, I know, is very concerned about Arsenal keeping a clean sheet. I'm not. It's weird. I don't rate Fulham's defence at all. But for some weird reason, I've got a very sneaky suspicion that they're going to be good this week. No clues why. I've just got a feeling. All right, DC removed at the end of the season for the AM chip. I'm calling it now. It's going to happen. The AM chip's going to come back, and DC's going to get removed because it's killed the player pool, let's be honest, and it's about as boring as, I don't know, something. Gabriel to rest, please. I can get amongst it. All right, yes, Murat, keep hanging on, baby. We are getting to the cards calls in the cards team very, very shortly. I'll be asking for cards calls from the chat very, very shortly. Now, this week feels like it's dragged on forever. That's because of the international break, and these things quite often happen, which means that epic scores are to follow. Now, does that mean epic low scores or epic high scores? That is the question. But there's every chance it's going to be brilliant or it's going to be completely rubbish. But either way, we've waited 2 weeks for the football and the Premier League to come back. Let's hope it doesn't underwhelm. Let's hope it doesn't underwhelm and it's a high-scoring week and we get lots of returns in our teams, let's be honest. Now, the last one, and this is why I'm captaining Phil Foden, baby. Haaland to be marshalled by the big unit that is Tarkowski of Everton. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Haaland scored against Everton last season, from my knowledge. I could be wrong about that. I know he definitely didn't score in the game at home because Phil Foden got a bonus point. I could be wrong. I might be making that up. I'm pretty sure I'm right, though. But I think Haaland potentially might be blanking this particular week. So, yeah, those are the hot takes for Game Week 8, baby. For Game Week 8 in the bag. So, onto the cards team, and here it is. The card is ready to roll. It's got its card calls ready as well. The card actually has some money to work with in its team. It's got 2.7 million in the team. It's got 2 transfers as well. And normally, I do this before I actually make the late mail because I like to do the cards team before then, but I'm not going to do it live, but I'm going to ask the card when it wants to make a transfer this week. So we go, do we want to make a transfer, yes or no? And it doesn't want to make a transfer. So the cards team is not going to make a transfer again. And let's ask it if it's happy with the way it's lined up at the moment. Yes or no? And it's happy exactly with the way the team is lined up, which is exactly how it was the week before, except it didn't have Haaland captain. I did the captaincy before the stream. So again, there we go. That is the cards team for Game Week 8. I mean, it's going Haaland captain. I'm going Foden. Is the card going to be the right or is the D-Unit going to be right? We will have to wait and see. This week, we're not doing Foden versus Haaland on the card calls because I'm sick of getting it wrong. I'd rather just not know and hope for the best. So, random card questions this week. Bench boost versus no bench boost. Bench boost. Anderson goal and 17-pointer. Yes? No. Sadly, that's not going to happen. User transfer versus roller transfer. User transfer. 5 at the back versus 3 at the back. 5 at the back. FPL D-Unit versus DCL unit. Oh, piss off. DCL unit. It's got to happen. DCL unit's got to come in. Will Arsenal keep a clean sheet versus Fulham? Yes? No? Oh. No. I told ya. Card knows it. Trig to bail the lock-in when Semenyo bangs again at 3 p.m. No. No, he's not going to bail. Good man, Trig. Is Nightmare scared of the card? Is Nightmare scared of the card? Surely this is going to be a yes. Oh, it is too. I told you he was scared of the card, baby. He is scared of the card. I knew it. Nightmare. Cop that, mate. Cop that. All right. On to the card calls for this week. Jurien Timber versus Vardiol. Remember, the bloke on the left is always this side up. The bloke on the right's that one. So Timber versus Vardiol. Vardiol. Rice versus Eze. Declan Rice. Esteve versus Rodon. Rodon. Chalobah versus Kukurea. Chalobah. Haaland captain versus Mo Salah captain. Mate, the card knows. Mo Salah captain. Pigeon versus the DCL unit. This is going to be the DCL unit, isn't it? Oh, no, it's the Pigeon. The Pigeon stays. The Pigeon stays. Enzo versus Saar. Saar. And Walter Made, or Walter Made, however you say his name, Nightmare calls him Voldemort. Sorry, my God. Voldemort. It's not. It's Walter Made versus Bowen. Jared Bowen. Remember, the card didn't go very well in the late mail last week. It got 1 call correct, 1 draw, and 6 wrong. But it's still massively up on the season. 27 correct, 12 draws, 19 wrong. Hopefully, those calls have been good. Now, everyone needs to whack in the first 8 decent calls I see in the chat. Whack them in now, because I will do 8 card flips for the chat. 8 only. Whoever puts them in and I like them, I'll do them, and I'm going to write it out and the person that did it. So make sure you put your card calls in now. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to sit there and whack them in, and then we'll get into them. All right. Let's see what people are coming up with. Do you have a chance to toss the cards for Gravenberch versus Senebi? All right. Gravenberch, Senesi. Gravenberch, sub 1 Murat. Card just got me Bowen over Walter Martin. Good boy. Yes, done that one, Murat. All right, okay. Bruno to Sucker for a hit. Mr. Card, please. All right, Bruno to Sucker for a hit. Yes. Isidore or Dominic Calvert-Lewin? Isidore, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. DCL unit, baby. Ndai or Enzo Fernandez? Oh, Jesus Christ. Ndai, Enzo Fernandez. I hate that. I hate when that happens. Ndai. All right, Juve versus Timber. I like that one. Juve versus Timber. Timber. Bowen versus Jokeres. That was Bowen. Right, what else do we got here? Shrewsbury versus Crawley. I like that. Shrewsbury versus Crawley. Shrewsbury. Juve versus Van de Ven. Juve. Rodon or Vardiol? Rodon. That can't be right. Harry or Raptor? Raptor. Oh, there we go. We've gone into your turn to question and answers. DCL or Haaland? Oh, no. DCL, oh my God. I told you, Haaland's blanking this week. 100%. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Andy or FPL D-Unit. Now, I've asked Andy to come on the late mail because I think he'd be really good for his channel and also probably mine as well because I think he'd enjoy the banter, to be honest with you. So, what was that? Andy or FPL D-Unit? Surely that's... the card knows, baby. FPL D-Unit. And Bumo or Sa? And Bumo, Sa. And Bumo. DCL injured versus DCL misses a sitter. DCL misses a sitter. Salah or Saka? Salah. Murat versus Lin. Murat. Spider-Man versus the Hulk. Spider-Man. Tefford versus Scarborough. Scarborough. Captain Anderson for one game week. I'll do a stream with Big Man Bakar. Captain Anderson for one game week. Dina looks like Van Nistelrooy, yes or no? Yes. Praz or Nightmare on show? What was the second one? Nightmare. Oh, wait, actually, will be so funny to see Andy. I know, it'd be brilliant. Marco or Bizzo? Marco. Timber or Joof? Timber. Enzo or Rice? Enzo. All right. I think that has brought me to the end. If there's any other questions you want to ask me about anything FPL related at the moment, whack them in the chat now. I'm going to sit here for about 2 minutes. Then we're going to wrap it up. That's going to be the end of the live late mail. I've actually done it. I managed to time that pretty well. We've gone for just on an hour, which is ridiculous. Vodka or water? Vodka. Anthony, which three? All right, Munoz, Senesi, Chalobah, Sa, Rice. Anthony, which 3 start? I would go with Chalobah, Sa, Rice. I think. Eze or Saka? Eze. Oh my God, he does. Gary with the cartel, yes or no? Yes. To be or not to be? Not to be. Is Watkins going to play? Apparently, yes, he might. He might play. He might play. What makes you go Bruno over and Bumo? No idea other than the fact that the card told me Bruno. Sell DCL or sell DCL? Nothing. Hello, boss. Enzo or Sa? Enzo or Sa? All right. Enzo. Any predicted price rises falls tonight? Yes, there are going to be some tonight. From my knowledge, there's going to be quite a few, actually. I'm going to have a look. I've got my live FPL app here. I'm going to tell you all exactly how many people are rising or going down in a second. Let's have a look. And we have prices. All right, so predicted rises tonight. Walter Mata is expected to rise along with Pope, Haaland, Bowen, and potentially Stack. Who the hell's buying Stack? Stop buying Stack, you fools. All right, predicted to fall is João Pedro, Murillo, Gyökeres, and Mbumo. Okay, I might actually have to make a move because Mbumo looks like he's going to go down. So I don't want to lose another 0.1 in team value, so that's not good. Is the card wrong about Arsenal? No. Now, on that note, we will be back with a live deadline stream tomorrow at 9 a.m. UK time. I had to think about that then because I was going to say it's 4 p.m. No, it's 4 p.m. my time, 9 a.m. UK time. I'll then be back. I won't be doing the Forest versus Chelsea game, unfortunately. I'm DJing yet again tomorrow, believe it or not. But I will be back with a live watch-along for the 3 p.m. kickoffs. All 5 of them will be on the channel. And potentially I may do Fulham versus Arsenal afterwards as well. And then I'm appearing on the lock-in on the FPL Pubcast following that. You guys have been incredible. Hopefully you've enjoyed the first live edition of the Late Mail. Hopefully it's provided you with some entertainment, as well as some information and food for thought leading up to the deadline stream tomorrow. I'll see you all then. You guys, as usual, have been unbelievably incredible. I'll be reading back all your comments, and you guys, as always, are the reason why I do this. Thank you very much for joining. I've been FPL D-Unit. Make sure you like if you're watching this back. Share it with everyone. Let's grow the community together. And if you haven't already joined the WhatsApp community, please consider doing so. It's great fun, great entertainment, and great bands.